Hello friends, welcome to my channel Scientist Words. Today we're going to talk about transcription in prokaryotes, RNA polymerase and promoter recognition in this lecture. Transcription is the first step in gene expression, copying information from DNA into RNA. The bacteria, a single RNA polymerase, must locate the correct promoters among millions of base pairs and start synthesis at exactly the right nucleotide. In this session, we will focus on prokaryotic transcription basics, especially how RNA polymerase and the sigma factor recognizes promoters and initiate transcription. By the end, you will understand the structure of bacterial RNA polymerase, the features of a typical promoter, and the sequence of events from promoter binding to a narrow promoter escape. Transcription is the process of synthesizing RNA using DNA as a template, often called DNA-dependent RNA synthesis. Unlike DNA replication, which copies the entire genome once each cell cycle, transcription selectively copies only certain genes depending on the cell's needs. This is how bacteria rapidly adjust gene expression to changes in nutrients, stress, or signaling molecules. Bacterial RNA polymerase is capable of starting RNA synthesis de novo. It does not require a primer, unlike DNA polymerase. A single RNA polymerase species in bacteria synthesizes mRNA as well as rRNA and tRNA with help from accessory factors. The most important control point is initiation, where and when RNA polymerase starts transcription at specific promoters. This is why understanding promoter recognition and initiation is central to understanding bacterial gene regulation. Bacterial RNA polymerase is a multi-subunit enzyme. The core enzyme consists of two alpha subunits, one beta and one beta prime, and one sigma subunit. The beta and beta prime subunits form the catalytic center that catalyzes RNA chain growth. The alpha subunits help with enzyme assembly and can contact upstream DNA or transcription factors. The small gamma subunit, omega subunit assist in assembly and stability. On its own, the core enzyme can transcribe DNA in vitro but is essentially blind. It binds DNA non-specifically and does not reliably start at bona fide promoters. To gain promoter specificity, the core associates with the sigma factor. The resulting fat complex RNA polymerase holoenzyme can recognize promoter sequences and initiate transcription efficiently. Sigma is therefore the key initiation factor. It binds to the core, exposes the DNA binding domains, and directs the holoenzyme to specific promoter elements. After the promoter polymerase successfully starts synthesis and the RNA chain reaches about 8 to 10 nucleotides, sigma usually dissociates. The core enzyme continues elongation. Sigma factors are modular initiation factors that give RNA polymerase its promoter specificity. The primary signal in E. coli is sigma 70, which recognizes most housekeeping genes expressed during normal growth. Bacteria also encode alternative sigma factors, for example, sigma 32 for heat shock genes, sigma 38 for stationary phase genes, sigma 28 for flagellar genes, and so on. Each sigma factor has domains that recognize specific DNA motifs in promoters, typically in the 10 and minus 35 regions upstream of the transcription start site. By swapping sigma factors on the same core polymerase, the cell can rapidly reprogram which sets of promoters and therefore which regulators are transcribed. Structural and biochemical studies shows that domain sigma 2 and sigma 4 of sigma 70 family sigmas contact the minus 10 and minus 35 elements respectively, and that alternative sigma factors have altered sequences in these regions to match their target promoters. A promoter is a specific DNA sequence where RNA polymerase holoenzyme binds and begins transcription. In E. coli, the classic sigma 70 promoter contains two conserved hexamer sequences. The minus 35 element, approximately 5' TTGACA 3', centered around 35 bases upstream of the start site, and the minus 10 element, also called PRIP-now box, approximately 5' Tata AT 3', centered around minus 10. The distance between these elements is important. An optimal space is about 17 base pairs. Sigma factor contains sigma 4 and sigma 2 contact the minus 35 and minus 10 elements respectively, and the flexible linkers between these domains fit that spacing. Deviations in sequence or spacing influence how strongly RNA polymerase binds. Promoter closer to the consensus sequences and optimal spacing are typically strong promoters. giving high transcription rates, whereas weaker matches reduce transcription. Beyond the -10 and -35 elements, many promoters have an UP element upstream that interacts with the alpha subunit C-terminal domains, enhancing binding or an extended -10 motif that compensates for a weak -35 element. Together, these features fine-tune promoter recognition and transcription strength. During initiation, RNA polymerase holoenzyme first forms a closed promoter complex (RPC). In this state, the enzyme is bound to the promoter, but the DNA remains double-stranded. No transcription bubble yet. Sigma factor, sigma 70, makes sequence-specific contacts with the -35 and -10 elements in the duplex DNA, positioning the polymerase over the transcription start site. This binding is covered by the degree of a match to consensus sequences and optimal spacing. If the match is poor, the holoenzyme may still transiently bind but will likely dissociate. If the match is good, the complex is more stable and more likely to transition to the next step. Importantly, this closed complex is reversible. The polymerase can let go and move on, especially if conditions or signals are not favorable for transcription at that moment. Once a stable closed complex forms, RNA polymerase triggers local DNA unwinding around the -10 element and the transcription start site. This creates a transcription bubble of about 13 to 15 nucleotides, producing an open promoter complex in which the template strand is exposed and positioned in the active site. The -10 region AT-rich sequence is easier to melt because AT base pairs have only 2 hydrogen bonds compared to 3 in GC pairs. Sigma factor, particularly the sigma 2 domain, plays a direct role in recognizing the -10 element and promoting strand separation. Structural studies shows that specific amino acids in sigma 2 interact with flipped out bases from the -10 region and help nucleotide bubble formation. In the open complex, the template antisense strand runs through the active site, ready to base pair with incoming nucleoside triphosphates. At this stage, the complex is generally committed to initiation. It is less reversible than the closed complex. From the open complex, RNA polymerases initiate synthesis by joining two NTPs. No primer is required. During the first few cycles, the enzyme often produces short abruptive transcripts 2 to 9 nucleotides long that are released without the enzyme leaving the promoter. This stage is called abortive initiation. During early initiation, the polymerase remains anchored at the promoter while it pulls downstream DNA into its active center, enlarging the transcription bubble, a mechanism described as DNA scrunching. If the nascent RNA fails to stabilize the complex, it is released and another attempt begins. Eventually, once the RNA chain reaches about 8 to 10 nucleotides, the enzyme undergoes conformational change, breaks its tight interactions with the promoter, and transitions into an elongation complex that moves downstream along the DNA. At this point, the sigma factor often dissociates from the polymerase, although in some cases it can remain loosely associated. The core enzyme now synthesizes RNA processively until it reaches a termination signal. This promoter escape step is a key kinetic checkpoint in transcription initiation. To summarize, prokaryotic initiation, transcription initiation, first, the core RNA polymerase associates with a sigma factor to form holoenzyme. This holoenzyme scans the genome and binds promoter sequences, forming a closed promoter complex. Next, the enzyme melts the DNA around the -10 region to create an open complex with a transcription bubble and the template strand in the active site. The polymerase then begins RNA synthesis, often making short abruptive transcripts and undergoing DNA scrunching. Often, the RNA reaches a critical strength, the enzyme escapes the promoter and releases and loosens sigma and become a stable elongation complex. Understanding this presence of events is key for appreciating how regulators can enhance or block transcription at different steps. Although the focus today is on RNA polymerase and the promoter itself, in living cells, regulatory proteins strongly influence promoter recognition and initiation. Activators bind specific DNA sites near the promoter and facilitate RNA polymerase binding or transition to an open complex. For instance, the CAP-CAMP complex contacting the alpha subunit C-terminal domain at the lag promoter. Repressors can bind operators, sites overlapping the promoter or downstream, physically blocking polymerase or preventing open complex formation. These interactions often involve direct protein-protein contacts between activators, repressors, and the RNA polymerase alpha or omega subunits, modulating the stability of the closed and open complexes. As the result, the same core promoter sequence can behave very differently depending on which regulators are bound, allowing bacteria to tune transcription in response to nutrient availability, stress, or other cues. Not all promoters are created equal. Promoters whose -10 and -35 elements closely match the sigma 70 consensus sequences are optimally spaced, tend to bind holoenzymes strongly, and form open complex readily. These are strong promoters with high basal transcription. In contrast, promoters with poor matches or suboptimal spacing are weak and are transcribed at low levels unless helped by activators. Additional elements such as UP elements upstream of the -35 region, which contact the alpha subunit and the extended -10 motifs, can enhance promoter strength. Bacteria exploit this range of promoter strengths to set different default expression levels for genes, then superimpose regulation by sigma factor usage and transcription factors to fine-tune expression in specific conditions. High-resolution crystal and cryo-EM structure of bacterial RNA polymerase holoenzyme bound to promoter DNA have confirmed that biochemical model of promoter recognition, domain sigma 2 wraps around and recognizes the -10 element, directly participating in base flipping and DNA opening, while sigma 4 engages the -35 element via the helix turn helix motif. The flexible linker between these domains spans the same distance as the 17 base pair spacer between -35 and -10 in optimal promoters. These structures also show that promoter DNA is bent and particularly melted in the open complex, forming a precise junction between double-stranded and single-stranded DNA at the upstream edge of the -10 region. While alternative sigma factors are compared, differences in the DNA binding surfaces of sigma 2 and sigma 4 explain their preference for distinct promoter sequences and spacings, giving a structural basis for sigma-specific regulators. Once initiation is complete and the polymerases have escaped the promoter, elongation is relatively straightforward. The core enzyme moves along the DNA template, adding ribonucleotides at around 40 to 50 nucleotides per second in E. coli under typical conditions. Sigma is largely absent or loosely associated at this stage. Other factors like NUS proteins stabilize the elongation complex. Transcription eventually terminates through either intrinsic row-independent mechanisms which rely on the RNA hairpin, followed by a run of U residues, or row-dependent mechanisms which require the row helicase. Although elongation and termination are important, most regulatory control in bacteria occurs at initiation through promoter sequence, sigma factor choice, and the transcription factors, which is why promoter recognition and initiation mechanisms are so central. Because bacterial RNA polymerase is essential and structurally distinct from the eukaryotic polymerase, it is an attractive antibiotic target. A major example is rifampicin, which binds in the RNA exit channel near the active site of bacterial rnAP and blocks the extension of nascent RNA beyond a few nucleotides, efficiently preventing transcription initiation. Rifampicin is a first-line drug against Mycobacterium tuberculosis and is also used for other bacterial infections. Resistance typically arises from mutations in RPOP gene encoding the beta subunit of rnAP, which reduces rifampicin binding. Structural knowledge of promoter recognition and rnAP's active center is guiding the development of new antibiotics that can overcome such resistance or target other essential aspects of transcription. In summary, prokaryotic transcription initiation is built around the partnership between RNA polymerase and the sigma factors. The core enzyme performs the chemistry of RNA synthesis, but sigma directs it to a right start series by recognizing the -35 and -10 promoter elements with appropriate spacing. Initiation follows a defined sequence: holoenzyme formation, closed promoter complex, DNA melting to form an open complex, abortive initiation cycles with DNA scrunching, and finally promoter escape into productive elongation. By altering the sigma factor usage and by deploying activators and repressors as specific promoters, bacteria can rapidly reprogram the transcriptional profile to adapt to changing conditions. At the same time, the essential and unique features of bacterial RNA polymerase makes it an excellent antibiotic target. For exams and for real-world applications, keep these core ideas in mind. Who, core plus sigma, where minus 10, minus 35 promoter elements, and how, closed, open, and escape. They provide a clear mental model for understanding transcription regulation in bacteria. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope everybody has learned something from this video. See you guys in my next video. Thanks again. Bye bye.